Hello guys, welcome back to Tap and Sack. It's a new week, so we're going to unlock a new Spellslinger, and that's the Mono Blue Jace. He's all about drawing cards and then quickly activating his ultimate ability so that every card drawn after that will only cost 1 mana each. So expect some big spells, big creatures, and hopefully some big wins. Alright, here we are in the Spellslinger's main page, so let's go ahead and unlock Jace.
To put my mind to good use.
Alright, so we've unlocked Jace. He's a blue Spellslinger. He's all about card draw and mind games. He starts off with a health of 26, and his special ability is Multiverse Mind. Basically, you need to spend 20 mana to activate, and it will change the cost of each card in your deck to 1, and then you draw a card. So it actually doesn't really cost 20 because this cost is reduced by 1 each time you draw a card, and also for the number of cards in your starting hand. So the more cards you draw, the easier it will be to activate his ultimate ability. And you have to bear in mind that when you activate this and change the cost of each card in your deck to 1, it doesn't change the cost of the cards already in your hand. So whatever's in your hand, you still have to cast it as per usual, but everything else you draw will only cost 1. So for example, even a 10 cost or 9 cost card will cost 1 after that. So basically Jace's main goal is to quickly reach that level where you can activate Multiverse Mind and then start winning the game from there. Alright, let's take a look at his signature cards. So the first signature card is Remand. It's a well-known counterspell in Magic, and in Spellslingers it costs 2 mana, and if an opponent plays a card that costs 3 or more, you will counter it and return it to their hand, and then you get to draw a card. So drawing a card is great because it will help Jace's ultimate goal of activating Multiverse Mind. The downside is that when you counter it, it actually returns back to the opponent's hand, so they can actually recast it. So it's not a hard counter, but it's basically a delay of what they can do. So ultimately you want to do this early and then draw cards so that you can activate your ultimate ability quickly. Jace's Apprentice is one of the best signature cards, I feel, because he comes in 3-1 for 3 mana, but when it enters, it gets +0/+1 for each other card in your hand. So after you've drawn maybe 2 or 3 more cards and you have a hand of maybe 5, this will come in as a 3/6 ward for only 3 mana. So that's great value and also a very good blocker. The ward will protect her for 1 turn so the opponent can't deal with it, and it also buys you more time to do your own things. The last signature spell is Repulse. It's a 3 mana, similarly to Unsummon, basically return an enemy creature to hand. So it costs 1 more than Unsummon, but you do get to draw a card, which again helps Jace's goal very well because you want to draw as many cards as possible to reduce the activation cost of Multiverse Mind. Alright, now that we've gone through his basic abilities as well as the signature cards, let's try to build a deck with him. So now we have to choose our splash color, and that is always the tricky part because we don't really know what cards we have yet or that go well with Jace. Generally, white can offer protection if you want to protect your creatures. White also has flyers and maybe small little creatures, so not sure if it's the best color to go. Blue-black would be more on control, like Ashiok. You'll have lots of removal spells, cards that drain people's life, so maybe not too good as well. Blue-red is always a good archetype because Ral uses it, and basically red offers the option of burn spells which can clear enemy creatures directly. So red might be a good option to stabilize yourself and stay longer in the game. As for green, green offers good value in the creature front, so you can have nice cheap creatures but also big enough that can serve as blockers and maybe even attack. So for now, probably we'll just go with red and see what we can build in blue-red. So first things first, I've added the 6 copies of the 3 signature cards into our deck because most likely we're going to be using them. And now let's go pick our land. The land I'm going to try to pick is Tolarian Academy. It's an epic card, so not easy to get, but basically it offers a lot of value if you play artifacts. So in blue, artifacts such as Isochron, Scepter, and maybe those that draw a card, I think Mystical Tomb. So these will help reduce the cost and help you draw cards and gain value. Isochron Scepter is a very good artifact for blue. It costs 2 and it comes with 2 charges. It lets you draft a spell that costs 2 or less and add it to your hand. So there are a lot of good spells that are 2 or less that you can use to interact with the opponent's creatures, maybe bounce them to their hand, destroy them, or even burn them. So lots of value to be had in the Isochron Scepter. Mystic Tomb is that other artifact I was telling you about. It's a 4 mana for a 3 charge artifact. You can activate to draw a card. So 4 mana is quite high. You'll be casting this on your earliest turn, maybe turn 4 or turn 3. But with the Tolarian Academy, you can cast this on turn 3, so maybe it's good to cast this out and start drawing cards. You will have to take some hits from the enemy's attackers for 1 turn though. Alright, to start off with our red spells, we have the 3 mana Flame Coil, deals 4 damage to an enemy creature. It's just good removal because 4 damage can probably cover most creatures on a battlefield. So 3 mana is a fair price to pay, so we're going to put 2 copies of this in. I'm going to try putting 2 copies of Pyroclasm because it's a nice board wipe for 2 damage to each creature. It can kill a lot of small creatures, and even if it doesn't kill the bigger ones, you can weaken it and maybe let your smaller creatures trade with them. 1 copy of Niv-Mizzet as our top end big creature. It's a 7 mana, but hopefully when we activate Multiverse Mind, it will come in and only cost 1. So the good thing is that you'll draw 2 cards when it comes in, and whenever we draw a card, we deal 1 damage to the opponent. So since Jace is all about drawing cards, I think if we can keep Niv-Mizzet on the battlefield, this will help us a lot. I'm putting 1 copy of Lava Wave because again, we hope to draw this when it only costs 1. So if we can cast this, it deals 6 damage to each enemy creature, pretty much clearing the board for our creatures to attack. Runeshell Crab is pretty much the best blocker in the game. For 1 mana, you get a 3/3 with Defender, can't attack. So you don't really need to attack, you just want to absorb some of the early attacks from the opponent so that you can stay longer in the game and keep drawing cards. Although we already have Repulse in the deck, I think 2 more copies of Unsummon would be good as well. Just to have that tempo play, if we want to cast this on turn 2, we can, and then we can have Repulse available on turn 3. Aether Figment is great if you're using cards like Isochron Scepter or Anticipate, because it will cost 0 then, and although it's been slightly nerfed recently because it was originally a 3/3 and now it's a 3/2, but being able to cast this for 0 is amazing, so make sure you have the right cards in the deck before you put Aether Figment inside. So this is pretty much the final build that we have, and we're going to use this to play some games. We're not so sure how the red splash would turn out, maybe other colors will be better, but for now I think having red as burn would be good. So we've got our Flame Coil, Pyroclasm, Lava Wave, and Niv-Mizzet as our 6 cards. Let's go play some games and see how well Jace can do. Up against the hottest Spellslinger right now, which is Drizzt. He's going to be very fast with his legendary creatures, so we do have a starting hand that is decent, but I think we can get rid of 1 Apprentice. Ouch, the Dreamer, that's like the best card they can have. I'm gonna go with Anticipate. Hopefully we get something, but unfortunately we don't. We got Unsummon. Let's cast the Figment. Pass a turn. So at least we can block if we need to. Unless they have Giant Growth, then that's too bad. Alright, they probably do. Yep, Giant Growth, okay. Alright, I'm down with 2 mana. So I have to unsummon it because I don't want to be taking a lot of damage next turn. Alright, the Dreamer and Tested Rookie. I think I really do need to kill first because it's just too dangerous with Guinevere. So our starting hand wasn't very good. I think we lacked the artifacts such as Isochron Scepter. And we don't have any real good blockers. We do have the Apprentice.
Wait for an opportunity.
And drawing Niv-Mizzet now isn't good as well. So let's do an Anticipate, see what we get. Remand might be good. Now we can cast our other Figment and then just hold up Remand, pass the turn. Okay, I'm worried about another giant growth, so just attack this. Alright, shields up, yeah. Because I didn't want to block the rookie, he's gonna get buffed 4-4. Alright, our bear get remanded, which is good. So I think I'll play here is to repulse the wolf. That's we can draw a card. Ooh, Pyroclasm, that would be great. Nice. So I'm not gonna cast a crab, I'm just gonna remand again. So if they cast the owl bear or something else bigger, it'll just get bounced. Hero's Call. Okay, we'll be remanded.
Bad news, friend.
They cast the Watch Wolf again. Alright, now it's back to 3-4. So every time you bounce back a creature to your opponent's hand, they lose their buffs. And this might be good for us. We could Pyroclasm and then cast 2 Runeshell crabs. Sure, let's do that. Pyroclasm. And then we can cast 2 Runeshell crabs. Or let's cast Isochron first, see what we get. Destroy enemy creature with flying. That actually might be useful. And then we can cast the last Runeshell crab. Yep, Niv-Mizzet, just nice for Plummet. Okay, looks like they want to trade. It's fine. Ooh, why are we drawing the big spells just before we activate our ability? So annoying. Alright, let's do Isochron Scepter. Nothing super good. I mean, Hasten is fine, I guess. Pick teams, I don't want to give it to them, so maybe Drain Blood. So let's cast Jace's Apprentice.
I'm just getting started.
I've got a plan.
And then a Plummet.
A temporary setback.
Pass his turn. Ooh, Vicious Mongrel, good card. I'm gonna block the tree. Alright, Hero's Call, which means you get a legendary creature. Okay, I'm gonna activate it now because I don't want to be drawing any more of my big spells.
So many possibilities.
Alright, Unsummon is good. But let's go with the Drain. And let's attack. Pass the turn. Oh, joining Portal again. Please not a hasty guy. Please. Ooh, yeah, that is okay. It's a 2-2. Because if he had a board, we'll be in big trouble. Ah, alright. That was actually pretty good for them. They got 6 damage on the field. And Limriff. And Owlbear. Okay. So let's just cast Mage of Insight first. Draw a card. We've got the Wavelash Viper, which is good. But the Limriff is a problem. So let's cast Niv-Mizzet. Just want to see what we can get. Oh, Lava Wave, nice. Flame Coil. Alright. So I think we do need to Lava Wave now. Deal 6 to all. Let's pass the turn. So in the end, it was a good decision to play Niv-Mizzet because we drew those 2 cards, including Lava Wave, and now it costs only 1 because of Jace's ability. Ooh, but this is nice. Sylvia Bright Spear will turn all our toughness to 1. So big problem. And a Tusker. Okay, these are all very scary. But we can go with Wavelash Viper, giving all of them -1, -0. And then we can unsummon Silver Bright Spear. Let's cast a Prodigal Student. Flame Coil this. And let's just attack. And I want another flyer, so Mahamoti Djinn. Let's pass a turn. So the problem is that Matron Malice is still on the board, so they will activate Guinevere if they want to. Okay, Bright Spear and Cinder Split, and yeah, that's it. So we won with by activating Jace's ultimate, casting Lava Wave for 1 and all other spells for 1. So great value. You need to draw cards at the start of the game and then activate Multiverse Mind as soon as possible.
Let's slay.
Nahiri is our opponent, with someone with a purple username. So I'm not sure what that means. But they're going to be fast with Nahiri, with the weapon as well. So we gotta hold them off. Probably we can put back Wish, the Viper. Not so sure about Mage of Insight as well. So let's keep the 2 cheapest creatures. We don't draw an artifact, unfortunately.
Let's see what you have in mind.
Avenge them.
Oh, Path of the Barbarian, nice. I think it's the first time I've seen this skill class. But it should work great for Nahiri. Axe of Vengeance, okay, that's the artifact from the Barbarian class. And we drew a Djinn, which is bad. So let's just cast a Student and pass a turn. Actually, I should have not cast it and cast Apprentice later on. Because now I'll be stuck with 2 mana. Okay, but they don't have anything. So I'll just attack.
Take this.
Looks like they have a slow hand as well, which is good for us. Because next turn we have Repulse. We can bounce any creature unless they have Ward. Or we could cast Apprentice and get a nice buff, +0, +4. Ball Lightning. Holy crap. Oh, I can't repulse that, but I think I'm gonna absorb some of the damage. Because Jace doesn't really have life gain options, so it's quite important to not have your life be so low. So Jace's Apprentice should be good as a blocker. Pass a turn. Tajik Mission's Edge. Wow. Okay, good thing is I can block it, so I will. And then they're down to 2 toughness, so I could just trade off later on. And Tajik doesn't really affect us because he nullifies any non-combat damage, I think. Yeah. And we don't have that. Oh, we do, we have Flame Coil. It doesn't protect himself though, so we can actually burn him off. Which I'm kind of tempted to do, but I'd rather just play the slow game. Maybe leave Flame Coil for something bigger. Okay, he blocked. That's fine for me. So I'm gonna cast a Runeshell Crab and the Aether Figment. Pass the turn.
Incredible.
Oh, okay. He's got armor, but I can block with the crab. That's what he's for, the crab, you know. Trade off with attackers and absorb damage. Mindless Rage, kill him off. Okay. Indomitable Strength is the scary one. So we do need to hurry up. So I'm just gonna pass. Not a very good draws for us. Okay, the Legionnaire is great. It's gonna be a 3-2 in the air. So Repulse doesn't really help us in these games because they all have haste. So it's very troublesome for us to deal with. I'm gonna do it with Raven and just bounce back the bird. So if they want, they can cast it again.
Let's see what makes you tick.
But they did activate Yawning Portal, which means they've got a legendary creature somewhere. There's the Legionnaire. I'm gonna block the crab first in case they have a trap. Alright, but they don't, so just block. Ooh, Remand is a good card here. Because I'm afraid they're gonna cast that Indomitable Strength. Or I could cast the Djinn and just serve up as a good blocker and threat. Pass the turn. Yeah, another legendary creature. Okay.
Incredible.
Kind of worried actually.
How fascinating.
Ah, yes, the 8/8 gains flying.
Incredible.
We do have Repulse, or we do have Miss Raven. So maybe Miss Raven and then Remand on standby.
Incredible.
And there's attack. Now we can put out Remand. So if they cast it, it will get bounced back to hand, and they wouldn't be able to recast it on the same turn. So buy us some time. Goblin Field Rusher. Okay, so they kind of like stole. Okay, all right. So I think maybe they don't have flyers. They're a little bit behind. So our flyers managed to do it. We didn't even activate Jace's ultimate ability yet. But I think just playing the tempo game, bouncing creatures back, and then casting our flyers managed to win the game. Alright, so that's it for our Jace introductory video. We've unlocked him just today and we've played him for the first time. We built a deck using a splash of red, so we put in red burn spells and as well as Niv-Mizzet because he's blue and red. So Niv-Mizzet lets you draw cards and that also helps Jace. So basically our main strategy is to draw as many cards as possible, hold off the enemy attackers, and then activate Jace's Multiverse Mind as soon as possible, because after that every card you draw will only cost 1. So if you have lots of big spells in there, you're going to be able to swarm over the opponent. The problem is if you draw the big spells too early and not enough small creatures, then you're not going to be able to hold off the aggro decks. But otherwise, Jace is pretty much a very powerful Spellslinger. We're gonna rank him within our top 8 for sure, and you should try him out. He does require more epic cards than usual, so cards like Isochron Scepter are gonna be very good, and even Lava Wave is an epic, I think. Jace can be difficult to pilot, so you need to understand how to play the tempo game, when to trade off with creatures, as well as how to slow the opponent down. So not maybe the first Spellslinger that you want to be playing with, but if you've been playing others for a while now and you like that kind of control build like Ashiok or Teferi, then Jace would be right up your alley. If you want to watch more videos on Spellslingers or other Magic content, do subscribe and leave a comment. Tell us what you think or what cards, big spells we should put in for Jace. You can also check out our website at tapandsec.com for more Magic articles and community profiles. Alright, we're tapping out for lunch, so take care and see you guys next time.